Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Frazier Field for Babe Ruth's State Tournament pool play. This is the 13-year-old age group. They're going to try and make it 2-0 for Lynn here at Frazier Field this early in July, just after 4th of July. We hope everybody had a safe 4th. Lynn, as the 15s did in the first game, the 13s will take on Revere as well. 15s won a mercy rule game in 5 innings, 10-0. To go 2-1, they told us initially they were 2-0, but they're now 3-1. This 13-year-old group is 2-1. They were 2-0. They lost a tough game to Marblehead. They're trying to get back on the winning side. Liam Carter will be on the mound. For Lynn, Revere is looking for their first win. They're winding down the pool play, they've been playing a few games to try and get into the quarters, semis, and finals. And most of the Lynn teams probably will make it into the top 8. Just a question of whether they will play games at home or not, depending on their record and their seeding. Curtis Sullivan, the center fielder, will lead it off for Revere. High for a ball. That was just a little bit outside. It went all the way to the backstop. That's a major league wild pitch. Swing and a miss. This is a whole different ballgame for these young people. This is a 13-year-old group. This is their first year playing on the big diamond, coming out of Little League on the 60-foot bases. And the pitcher's mound, it's a lot closer. That went all the way to the backstop for ball 4. Michael Guidi, who's the pitcher for Revere tonight, will be the hitter. So Revere has the first base runner. Down the way for a ball. And this usually runs into everybody steals bases. It's also the first time for the catcher to have to throw the ball all the way down to second base. Swing and a miss. And no chance. They just throw it down in the center field. They usually throw the ball not much further than the pitcher's mound in Little League. Now they have to throw the ball all the way down to second base. And that's a little too much to ask for these 13-year-olds. So anybody getting on base, if they choose to, can steal second base. And I always used to say throw the ball to third to make sure they only get second. He waited too long. So the runner at second was going to take off. He had him dead to rights, almost halfway to second base, and he took too long to make the throw. So Sullivan's able to get back. High and tight for a ball. The runner takes off. Steals third. Count goes 2-2 to Guidi. He can help himself and get this run and give himself a lead before he throws a pitch. And that's ball 4. So back-to-back walks to start the game. Joseph Ewing, the catcher, will be the hitter. Out in the corner of the catcher, about flashing signs to the infield, let them know what they do when the runner goes to second base, because the runner is going to go to second base. In for a strike. They almost threw it away. They threw it to the shortstop Barrett, and they almost threw it into the outfield. Down the way again. So second and third, 2 walks, a couple of stolen bases. Actually 3 stolen bases. In for a strike. Strike 3. They have to throw him out. They're debating whether they should do it or not. They finally throw him out. Ewing strikes out. He hesitated going. The catcher hesitated throwing it. He stopped halfway, then he stopped again. The catcher hesitated, and he finally threw him out. Brian Munoz, the shortstop, is the hitter. Popped up. Center fielder coming on in short center field, makes the play. The run will score easily. Munoz will get the RBI. Sullivan scores the run. And Revere grabs a quick 1-0 lead. Checo Jeminian. The extra hitter will be the hitter. Guidi, the pitcher, tagged up and went to third. So the walks hurt, as they always do. They appeal the runner leaving too soon. Umpire says safe. Revere was looking for a balk on the play. Revere's coach calls time. He wants to talk to the umpire, saying that the pitcher was on the rubber. Whether he was on the rubber or off the rubber, if he throws the ball, it's not a balk. Only if he holds on to it. It winds up question and answer with the two umpires. It didn't make any difference whether he was on the rubber or off the rubber when he threw it. If he throws it, it's not a balk. He has to step off or fake the throw standing on the rubber. Way inside. Nice job by Connor to go get that one. Keeps the runner at third. In for a strike. Pitching wide for a ball. Liam Carter trying to get out of the inning without any more damage. One run in. A runner at third, 2 outs. Swing and a miss. Got his money's worth and swung right through it. Started to pull the trigger and just held up. Payoff pitch up and coming. Way wide for ball 4. Third walk given up. One is already scored. The other 2 walks are at first and third. George Papalambros, the first baseman, will be the hitter. And we're going to get a pinch runner. Brian Montalvan is pinch running at first base. Swing and a miss. In on the hands, he swung right through it. Way inside. Pushes Palambros off the plate. In for a strike. Revere one swing of the bat from doing some damage in the first inning. Carter one pitch away from getting out of it. Hit in the air to center field. Couple of steps to his left. Pat Hurley makes the play. So Revere threatens to do a lot of damage. They do get a run. They jump on top. They do it without a base hit. So Lynn down 1-0. As they bat in the bottom of the first, it'll be Jackson Barrett, the shortstop, leading off. Catching and batting second, Aaron Corner. The third baseman, Brendan Malloy, will bat third. In the cleanup spot is Edvin Rovkanen, the first baseman. Edvin Rovkanen. The center fielder, Pat Hurley, will bat fifth. Playing second base and batting sixth, Brock Hogan. The extra hitter, Eli Fialo, will hit seventh. Batting eighth and playing left field, Sebastian Cabrera. The right fielder, Cam Nguyen, will hit number 9. And batting in the number 10 spot, and you heard me correctly, the extra hitter is an extra hitter. They bat 10. You don't have to, but you can bat 10 if you choose. And the 10th hitter is the pitcher, Liam Carter. Revere coaches are still talking to the umpire and base umpire about the balk they wanted called. We mentioned Lynn trying to make a sweep, the 15, Pete Revere here in a Mercy Rule 5-run. Take Peterson pitching a shutout. And now the 13's. And we mentioned also they're trying to get back on the winning track. They lost to Marblehead, their first loss of the season, to go 2-1. We had a couple of delays in the first game when there was thunder, a little bit of lightning. They had to hold it up. And then at the end of the 5-inning Mercy Rule, people walking out, it started to rain a little bit. It was just a spray, just enough to be a pain in the neck. As quickly as it started, it stopped. And it's a nice night out there. It was a miserable day to be outside in the heat, 93 degrees. We're not used to that. It came on very quickly. Jackson Barrett, the shortstop, will lead it off. Michael Guidi in the mound. Swing and a miss. Low for a ball. Missing wide for a ball. In for a strike. Popped up. First baseman, second baseman, first baseman reaches over. He's a little bigger than the second baseman. Second baseman is lucky if he's 4 feet tall. First baseman's almost 6. Palambros reached over the second baseman, Beauvais, to make the play. Aaron Corner, the catcher, is the hitter. That one bounced in front of home plate. That one goes to the backstop. High for a ball. Connor will be taking a good long look at this pitch with the count 3-0. And it's ball 4. So the first base runner for both teams are walks. And now we got a walk out to the mound. Of a conference. And that allows Lynn to have a conference with the hitter. It breaks up. Brennan Malloy, the third baseman, will be the hitter. Connor dives back on the throw over to first base. On the inside corner for a strike. Hit the shot. They only have one play, they're not going to make it. Deep shortstop, he looked to see if he had the force at second. Didn't. By the time he looked to first, it was too late. Malloy gets an infield hit. And Lynn has runners at first and second. Edvin Revkanen. The first baseman is the hitter. Way up and in for a ball. Off the catcher's glove, everybody's going to move up. That's a wild pitch. That was going over his head. Ewing was lucky he got a glove on that one. So Lynn has the tying run 90 feet away here in the bottom of the first. After Revere got a run in the top. They've got the go-ahead run at second base. Popped up. Behind second base is going to drop for a base hit. Right behind the second base bag. It stayed in the infield. Didn't make it to the outfield. So Connor scores the tying run. Malloy goes to third. Revkanen has got an RBI. He's at first base. He's now going to be at second base as he steals second. So second and third with one out for Lynn in his Babe Ruth State Tournament pool matchup with the 13-year-olds. Way up and in for a ball. High again. Runner at second get halfway to right through the wickets. I was about to say he's halfway to third base. Winding up at second is Pat Hurley on the error. That went right through the wickets. Malloy scores easily. Ruff Cannon was halfway to third base. He comes around to score. So Lynn says, Revere, you get one, we'll get three. Hit foul. Way up and in for a ball. This is Brock Hogan, the second baseman. Not a very big strike zone. Pops it up. Long run for the pitcher. Greedy makes the play himself in foul territory. So 2 away. Eli Fialo, the extra hitter. Hit into short left field, going back right just shy of the outfield turf. The shortstop, Munez, makes the play. But the damage is done. The walk, the error, it turns into 3 runs, and Lynn grabs a quick 3-1 lead at the end of 1 over Revere. 7, 8, and 9 for Revere as we start the second inning. George Berry, the third baseman, leads off against Liam Carter, who's now signed the last inning. He starts this inning with a lead. He gave up a run, walking 3 in the first inning. Sacrifice fly got the run in. He got out of further trouble, and now his team has given him a 3-1 lead. Pitch is in for a strike. Hit back to the mound. Carter will take care of the play himself. Play goes 1-3 for the out. 1 up, 1 down in the second. Tommy Waldron, the left fielder, will be the hitter. Down and away for a ball. Wide for a ball. Count goes 2-0. Stop by corner of the catcher and pitch down and away. On 4 pitches, Waldron draws a walk. 4th walk given up by Carter. There's only 1 out in the second inning. He walked 3 in the first inning. Jack Forbes, the right fielder, is the hitter. Waves at that pitch. Forbes kind of stands out with that bright yellow batting helmet. On the inside corner, he ducked out of the way, but it was in for a strike. Wide for a ball. Strike three called. Michael Beauvais, the second baseman. I don't envy Carter here trying to throw a strike to this batter. Very minute strike zone. In for a strike. Top of the order, Curtis Sullivan on deck. Waves at that pitch. Hit foul back up in the seats. The 1-2 pitch up and coming to Revere second baseman, and Beauvais asked for time and got it. Action going on over at Manning Field. Second soccer game over there. It's the Stop the Violence League that they started. Hit foul again up in the seats. Wide for a ball. We got deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in inning number 2. And Lynn is leading by 2. Way up and then had a duck away from that. So Carter was ahead of Beauvais. Now he's going to come with a pitch. He'll put him on. And it's ball 4. Top of the order, Curtis Sullivan drew a walk and scored the run that gave Revere their 1-0 lead. High for a ball. High again. Sullivan gets time. Now he steps back in. Count goes to 2-1. Revere so far has had 5 base runners, all of them walks. Swings and misses, and we got deuces wild again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Lynn still leading by 2 here in inning number 2. Down and away. And we got another full count. The payoff pitch. Popped up behind home plate corner. The catcher. Foul ball. It came back in fair, but it touched the catcher. When he couldn't make the catch, it bounced off him into fair territory. So Revere gets a break. Instead of 3 outs, Sullivan gets to get the 3-2 pitch again. Swing and a miss. He chased the pitch way over his head. So they get 2 more base runners with 2 more walks. But 2 strikeouts in the inning. Gets Carter and Lynn out of it. We'll move into the bottom of the second inning. It'll be the bottom 3, 8, 9, and 10 for Lynn. Sebastian Cabrera, Cam Nguyen, Liam Carter to face Michael Guidi, who will be starting his second inning of work. Brian Montalvan will be the second baseman. So Sebastian Cabrera will look to get things started for Lynn in the second inning. It's foul to the backstop. Chased that pitch, was up over his head. 0-2. Popped up. Center fielder couldn't hold on to it. He had it and he dropped it. Cabrera will reach on the error. Center fielder made a long run, got there, got the glove on it and couldn't hold on. Cam Nguyen, the right fielder, will be the hitter. It was an error that helped Lynn score 2 runs in the first inning. They throw it away at first. It's going to go down the line. He's going to keep going all the way to third. They tried to pick Cabrera off. They threw it away. So an error in the outfield. Now an error by the pitcher. Swing and a miss. Off-speed pitch. He was way out in front of it. Lynn 90 feet away from adding to a 3-1 lead. Hit to third. The runner's going to score. That was very close at first base. First baseman Papalambros had to come off the bag to make the tag, and Lynn is going to challenge. The base umpire was way over at shortstop. Didn't really have a really good view of the play, but it's his call. The runner is still at first base. Out at first. So in the end, with the ground ball gets an RBI, the run scores. Liam Carter, the pitcher, is the hitter. Way high for a ball. High and tight for a ball. In for a strike. Way wide for a ball. 3-1 the count. Pitcher against pitcher here. Waves at that pitch. Yeah, we know 3-2 count. Big pitch coming up again. Yeah, that one bounces in. Second walk given up by Guidi. Top of the order, Jackson Barrett popped up to the first baseman, who stole it away from the second baseman. It's a pop-up. They fake the bunt. They throw it down. There was nobody covering second base. It goes out into center field, but Carter slid in, so he can't go anywhere. As Ewing was making a throw, there was nobody at second base to get it. So another runner in scoring position for Lynn. High for a ball. In for a strike. Missing for a ball. In for a strike, and we got another full count. That one goes to the backstop. The runner will go to third. Heading for second. So he draws the walk. And he goes to second on the wild pitch. Carter goes to third on the wild pitch, so it's second and third. And we're going to get a trip out to the mound. And I don't know if we're going to have a new catcher. Papalambros will be the new pitcher. In for a strike. Way wide for a ball. Waves at that pitch. Aaron Connor walked and scored a run. They throw it back to the pitcher. They throw it away. The error on the throw is going to bring a run home. Revere is being very gracious guest. They almost got the runner at second when the ball got thrown by the pitcher. All the way, it rolled all the way to second base. They almost got him. The runner takes off for third. In easily. Swing and a miss. It gets away from the catcher. The run's going to score. The hitter is going to reach. He won't get an RBI. Another 3-run inning for Lynn. A runner at first with one out. Brennan Malloy singled and scored. And again, these 13-year-olds have no chance of throwing anybody out. That's like throwing it the length of the Grand Canyon for these 13-year-olds after playing Little League. Hit in the air, it's going to go out of play. Down the grassy knoll. A couple of these young all-star softball players are chasing all the foul balls and keeping them. Hit foul again. And it's going to go back towards Western Avenue. By the catcher. Runner at third now with one out. Bounces in the turf. Count evens at 2. In for strike 3. Two away now with the runner at third. Edwin Ralph-Cannon. Got a base hit his first time up, knocking in a run, and he scored a run in that 3-run first inning. In for a strike. Drop slowly to short. They better hurry. And they throw it away. So another error in the inning. It's now 7-1 in favor of Lynn. Pat Hurley reached on an error. A run scored. He doesn't get an RBI. Actually, 2 runs scored. He hit a ground ball to third and went right through the wickets, and that one goes to the backstop. They don't have a hit in this inning, but they got 4 runs. A strikeout that reached scored. 2 walks scored. Hit to right field. They make the play one-handed out in right field. Almost sailed away. So without getting a hit, they put 3 more on the board. Excuse me, they put 4 on the board. And they lead it 7-1 over Revere at the end of 2. Two, 3, and 4. Michael Guidi was the starting pitcher. I don't know where he's playing now. It might be second base. They moved everybody all over the place. The second baseman went out of the game. I think he's back. He's behind the plate, the second baseman. I don't know how you can keep an accurate scorebook. If you have the second baseman batting 10th, and he goes in and replaces the catcher who's batting third. In for a strike. The umpire is skipping a lot of jabs. He's like in a fight. He's ducking away from all the rights and lefts. High and tight for a ball. High and tight again. William Carter starting his 3rd inning. He's now got some room to work with. It was close for a while. Now it's 7-1. Popped up. It's going to make it up in the seats. There go the softball players chasing the foul balls. One hop. Nice play by Brock Hogan, the second baseman. It kind of short hopped him. He picked it right at his waist. Guidi hit it right on the nose, but hit it right to the second baseman. Joseph Ewing struck out. He was the one that, do I go to first, do I not go to first? And the catcher, do I throw it to first, do I not throw it to first? I think the umpire called that a strike. Chased that pitch, was way up and away. This is Joseph Ewing, who was the catcher, was replaced by the second baseman. He's still batting in the number 3 spot. To short. Long throw across the diamond. They get him. Jackson Barrett with a long throw across to the first baseman, Rob Cannon. And they throw the runner out from almost the outfield. Outstanding by Jackson Barrett. To go get it and stop him from going to the outfield was pretty good. Throwing him out was unbelievable. Down and away for a ball. Brian Munoz is responsible for the first run. He hit a sacrifice fly after a couple of walks and a couple of stolen bases. He hit a sacrifice fly to give Revere their 1-0 lead in the first inning. In for a strike. Up and away for a ball. Way wide for a ball. Swing and a miss. And here we go again. Full count. 3-2. We've had a few. In on the hands, he fouls it back, and we'll do it again at 3-2. Hit foul back. Young lady chasing a foul ball is going to be in great shape at the end of the night. She's running all over the park. Again, the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. First 1-2-3 inning goes to Liam Carter and Lynn in the top of the third. Fourth strikeout by Carter. And for Lynn, it'll be 6, 7, 8. Brock Hogan, Eli Fiallo, and Sebastian Cabrera. I think it's still going to be Papa Lambros. Will start an inning for the first time. He came in a relief in the second. Lynn's leading 7-1. They only have 2 base hits. Revere has made 5 errors. Their pitching has walked 3, and all 3 have scored. They struck out a batter that reached and that runner scored. Brock Hogan popped to the pitcher in foul territory. Here's one trip. Chop, foul. Hit to short. Dropped at first base. Sixth error by Revere. Hogan reaches on the error. Munoz got to it quickly, made a good throw, and they just dropped it at first base. Eli Fialo popped the shot. His one trip. Missing for ball one. Hit foul past third base. Popped up. Long run for the catcher. He's not going to get there. By the time he realized he might have had a play on it, it was too late. One, two the count. The Fialo, he's the extra hitter for Lynn. Down and in for a ball. Evens the count at 2. That one bounces by. Hogan will move over to second base. And we got another full count, 3 and 2. We've had a bundle of these. Strike 3 called. Good pitch. Sebastian Cabrera hit a fly ball. Right center fielder was there. Center fielder dropped the ball. He reached on the error and he scored. Popped up behind first base. Long run for the first baseman. Nice job getting there. The runner tags up and goes to third base. So a runner at third. I believe it's Joseph Ewing, the catcher, who is now playing first base. Hit past third base, foul. Get out in front just enough to pull it foul. way inside, almost hit him. Let's go. Nice stop by the catcher, who's a new catcher, to keep moving people all over the place. Hit in the air. Center fielder started in, started back. Now it goes back on. And Sullivan makes the play. So Lynn gets a run as far as third, but for the first time in 3 innings, they don't score. We finished 3 in his Babe Ruth State Tournament Pool 13-year-old division. Lynn leading Revere 7-1. Jacob Jiminian, the extra hitter. It's not him, it's Brian Montalvin. Montalvin became the extra hitter. In for a strike. Reaches for that, hits it back to the backstop. Swing for a ball. Pat Hurley is the new pitcher. So Liam Carter goes 3 innings, gives up the 1 run that was earned. Didn't give up a hit. Walked 5, struck out 4. We had the umpire and the catcher both bailing out on that pitch. Six walks given up by Lynn pitching. And those are the only base runners that Revere have had. George Papalambros, who's now the pitcher, flied to center field as 1 trip. Hits it high and deep and foul to left field. He thought he had one. In for a strike. Step back, chase that pitch. He can't go. He started to go. The runner at first thinking he was going to go. He had to hustle back to first. George Berry bounced to the pitcher. And that goes to the backstop. We'll move the runner up. In for a strike. Waves at that pitch for strike 3. So after leadoff walk, really strikes out the next 2. And Tommy Waldron, the left fielder, will be the hitter. He drew a walk. Swings and misses at the first pitch. In for a strike. 0-2. Down away for a ball. Waves at that. Looked like a breaking ball. So after leadoff walk, he strikes out the side. We're halfway through the ball game. Lynn will bat in the bottom of the 4th. Seven strikeouts for Lynn pitching. And for Lynn, it will be 10, 1, and 2. Scheduled. Liam Carter, Jackson Barrett, Aaron Connor. And we got a new pitcher on the mound. Michael Bovey, who was the second baseman, the smallest player on the diamond, will be the new pitcher. He was the second baseman. He went behind the plate to catch. Went back to second base. And now he's on the mound. They just keep moving people all over the place. Waldron, the left fielder, is now the second baseman. Montalvin, the extra hitter, went to play second base. Now he's the shortstop. Papalambros, who was the first baseman and pitcher, he's now the third baseman. We mentioned that the catcher is now playing first base. So it's just free substitution. Matt Zukowski is going to be the hitter, hitting for Carter. Hits it back to the mound. Bovey makes the play. Jackson Barrett, the shortstop, popped to first, walked and scored. It's a cinch that Bovey is not going to throw it by you. He's having trouble just reaching. Competition now for the foul ball. The boys are looking for it, and the all-star player comes up with it. They ran right by it. Wide for a ball. Way up for a ball. I think the pool is a 5-game matchup with everybody. So Revere is obviously not going to go any further than the 5 games. They're 0-3 is their 4th game. And they won't have any kind of seeding to get into quarterfinals. So they have maybe one more game and that'll be it. Way high for a ball. And guess what? We got another 3-2 count. Hit off the pitcher. And that's going to be a base hit for Barrett. Off the ankle or the foot of Bove. He says he's okay. We hope he is. Solid shot. He went down to get it, hit him right around the ankle or the shoe. And I'm going to let him throw a couple of pitches, I think, to make sure he's okay. So he's okay. We're happy for that. Aaron Connor is the hitter. He's walked and scored, struck out and reached when the ball went to the backstop and scored. So he's 0 for 1, but he scored 2 runs. He's been on base twice, obviously. The runner takes off, chopped to third. They're not going to get him. It's a swinging bunt. They're waiting for him to throw to first so Barrett could go to third. So after an out, back-to-back hits, put runners at first and second for Brendan Malloy, who singled and scored in the first, called on strikes in the second. In for a strike. Quickly 0-2. Way wide for a ball. Has to tuck under that one. Hit the shot. They throw it away at third base. They had the force and they threw it away. And runners are going to wind up at second and third. Edwin Rofkanen singled in a run and scored in the first, reached on an error the last time. Has to duck out of the way of that one. Revere was just throwing the ball all over the place. They had the easy force at third, They threw it over the third baseman's head. The run scores. The runner from first goes to third. The hitter goes to second. In for a strike. Third inning is the only inning that Lynn hasn't scored. Hit to center field. Backing up over the center fielder's head. That's going to go all the way back to the fence. A two-run triple. His third RBI in the game. They only had 2 hits coming into this inning. They got 3 in the inning, now they got 4. As Hurley rips a single for an RBI. Alphonse Williamson is going to hit for Brock Hogan. Hogan had popped to the pitcher and reached on an error. In for a strike off the catcher's glove. The pass ball moves the runner to second base. Peabody got a run in the top of the first on 2 walks, a couple of stolen bases, and a sacrifice fly. And that's been it. Lynn has answered that with 11 unanswered. Popped up. Long run. Nice play. Michael Guidi, who was the starting pitcher, made that play. He went back, he got it, looked like he bobbled it, was going to drop it, and he caught it again. Great play by the catcher. Eli Fialo popped the shot, struck out, calls to a strike. Solid shot to left field. Fialo ripped that one. So they had a 3-run inning, a 4-run inning, now they got a 5-run inning. Sebastian Cabrera reached on there and scored, popped to first base. Guidi out to talk to Beauvais. So now Revere could even score a run in the 5th inning and the game would be over with the mercy rule. So it appears as though Lynn's going to have, they're on the verge of 2 mercy rule wins. One with the 15s before this game, and now here with the 13s in this game. Swing and a miss. Chop foul to the Revere dugout. the 1-2 pitch. Up and coming. Swing chases that pitch over his head. Strike 3. But Lynn gets it up so that this could be Revere's last hurrah. They send 9 to the plate. 5 of them score. And we'll move into the 5th with Lynn leading Revere 12-1. Jack Forbes, the right fielder, was called on strikes his 1 trip. Revere still doesn't have a base hit. Hurley starting his 2nd inning. He gave up a walk and then struck out the side. Pop foul is going to make it up in the seats. And the race is on for the baseball. Late swing was in on the hands. He fouls it up in the seats. While everybody was chasing the ball to the left, the one ball chaser has it all to herself over the right side. Swing and a miss. 4 strikeouts in a row by Hurley. Michael Bove drew a walk his first at bat. That was when he was the second baseman. He went behind the plate, went back to second base, and now he's the pitcher. Swing and a miss. Waves at that pitch for strike 2. Right back to the pitcher. That ends the streak of 4 strikeouts in a row by Hurley. Down and in for a ball. Punch foul past the first base dugout. Sullivan walked and scored the 1 run that gave them their 1-run lead in the top of the first inning. Last time up, he struck out swinging. Both of those against Carter. High for a ball. Fouled off his foot. He felt that one. He's down in a heap in the batter's box. He's getting up. Thank goodness. Hit off his foot, off toe or the shoe. Says he's okay. And guess what? We got another full count. I stopped counting a long time ago, but we've had a bundle. Popped up. Pitch. Everybody call it. It's a foul ball. All I heard Hurley saying, me. Then he got out of the way and let the catcher take it. It bounced and then spun back into foul territory. So that would have been the first hit for Revere in the game. We'll do it again at 3-2. That was an easy play for Hurley coming to the ball. Not an easy play for Connor chasing it. Strike 3 called. And that's going to do it. Lynn 13's are going to go to 3-1 as they get a mercy rule. So the 15's mercy ruled Revere earlier. 13's mercy ruled Revere here. What a job by Hurley coming in. He walked the first batter, retired 6 in a row to end the game. 5 of them were strikeouts. So he strikes out 5 and walks a batter. Carter walked 5, struck out 4. They walked 6 batters. Those were the only base runners for Revere. 6 walks were the only base runners. They came close in the first inning. They scored in the first inning on a walk, a couple of stolen bases, and a sacrifice fly by Munoz, and they really didn't come close after that. They only had 2 base runners after the first inning, and they were both walks. Lynn got 3 in the first inning. An RBI single by Ruth Cannon and a ground ball through the third baseman's legs, knocked in 2. That was really all they needed. They got 4 in the second inning without a base hit. A walk, a wild pitch, stolen bases, strikeout that reached. A ground ball scored 1. An error scored 1. A wild pitch scored 1. An error scored 1. It was 7-0. They got 5 in the fourth inning. Those were fairly legitimate. They got 5 hits in that inning. 2 RBI hit by Ruth Cannon, an RBI by Hurley, an RBI by Fialo. Another one scored on an error, and that made it 12-1, and that was the final score, the mercy rule kicking in. For Lynn, Jackson Barrett had a walk and a single, scored twice. Aaron Connor did a nice job behind the plate. He was on base 3 times. He hit the trifecta. He walked, struck out and reached, singled, on base 3 different ways, and scored 3 runs. Brennan Malloy singled, reached on an error, scored twice. Edvin Ruth Cannon was on base 3 times. A single, a triple, reached on an error. He knocked in 3 and scored 2. Pat Hurley did that great job on the mound, retiring 6 in a row, 5 by strikeout. He also reached on an error, had an RBI single, and scored a run. Eli Fialo had an RBI single. Sebastian Cabrera reached on an error, scored a run. Cam Nguyen had a ground out to third to get an RBI. Liam Carter, the starting pitcher, threw a walk and scored a run. So everybody getting involved for Lynn, the 13-year-olds. They complete the sweep. The 15-year-olds mercy ruled Revere. So the 13-year-olds say, if you can mercy rule Revere, we can too. And they win it by a score of 12-1. The only inning they didn't score was the third, and they win it 12-1 over Revere to go 3-1. We just learned that the 14-year-olds won on the road tonight. They're 3-0. They play at Peabody tomorrow night, looking to go 4-0. And the 15s, we thought they were 3-0, but they're 2-1. But they're all in the hunt. So they could have 3 teams in the quarterfinal and semifinal. So 12-1, Lynn over Revere in this 13-year-old pool state tournament action. We hope you enjoyed it. I'm John Hoffman saying we'll see you next time.